Okay class, so attendance muna tayo. Please let me know you're present by hitting the subscribe button and saying present in the comment section. Bilang reward naman sa'yo sa paggawa mo yan, I will be giving you a free book.
I've just received a package from Sir David Wagner of Sir Dave's Classroom. And here it is, the book in all its glory. Thank you, Sir Dave. God bless po and more power to you and your channel.
Wala namang mawawala sa'yo, subukan mo lang, ano?
I've already received the book po, Sir Dave. Thank you so much po sa inyo and sana po ay lalo po mag-grow ang inyong channel at marami pa po kayong matulungan ng mga aspiring CPA.
Say present in the comment section below.
Hi sir, I just want to say that I'm immensely grateful to have this book. May you continue to inspire and motivate a lot of aspiring CPA around the world. Thank you and God bless.
So that would be my thank you gift for you. Alright, Chapter 7, Worksheet and Financial Statements. Worksheet, Ocampo and Associate CPA's worksheet for the month ended June 30, 2020. This is an accumulation, once again, of the things that we have been doing since Chapter 4. Shown here is the basic form of a worksheet. You have your accounts column, you have your unadjusted trial balance, your columns 1 and 2, adjustments columns 3 and 4, adjusted trial balance columns 5 and 6, income statement 7 and 8, balance sheet 9 and 10 for your statement of financial position. So you should be able to memorize the placements or the labeling of this. This is your basic 10-column worksheet. A worksheet is an accounting device used by accountants in organizing the accounting data in order to facilitate the preparation of financial statements and closing entries. Closing entries will be discussed later, okay? While a worksheet is not considered a permanent accounting record, it is not one of the financial statements. It will facilitate the checking, handling, and keeping of the permanent records. In order to minimize errors in both the accounting record and reports, adjustments should be recorded formally in the general journal and posted in the general ledger after preparation of the worksheet. So the worksheet is a working paper of the accountant. Okay? The financial statements, statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss will first be prepared in the worksheet before the formal statements are prepared separately. So yung parts of the worksheet natin, pinakita na natin kanina. Yung column A, columns 1 and 2. Ano ba yung columns 1 and 2 natin? These are the balances from the trial balance that we have made. If you remember in Chapter 5. Okay? Yung mga balanse sa columns 1 and 2 will be the balances that would be picked up directly from the postings that we have made in the general ledger. Okay? Columns 3 and 4, columns 5 and 6, columns 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Tulad ng sabi natin kanina, pinakita natin yung 10-column worksheet. Steps in preparing a worksheet. Step number 1, prepare the heading. So tulad ng pinakita natin kanina, balikan natin, ayan, heading, Ocampo and Associate CPAs. The business name, or if the business has no name, then it must be the name of the owner. Tulad ng sabi natin. The heading is composed of 3 parts: the name of the business, the title of the statement, which is worksheet, the date or the period covered by the worksheet. Step 2, prepare a trial balance on the worksheet. So alam na natin yan. Just in passing, we have to go over this. Okay? Columns 1, 2, debit credit, 3, 4, debit credit, 4, 5, debit credit, so on, so forth. Step number 3, enter the adjustments in the worksheet. Anyway, lahat naman ng to, ipapakita natin dun sa ating comprehensive illustration. Kaya don't worry. Okay? Step number 4, determine the adjusted balance of each account. How do we do that? Pagbubungguin mo yung balanse doon sa unadjusted trial balance, doon sa ating columns 1 and 2 versus the adjustments doon sa ating columns 3 and 4. Ayan. Any balance resulting from that would be written naman dun sa susunod na 2 columns, which would be columns 5 and 6, which would be labeled adjusted trial balance. Observe the following procedures, sabi dyan. So, mas maganda yung procedure, papakita na lang natin pagka tayo ay gumagawa na ng worksheet talaga. Okay? Tulad dito, sabi example, if the rent expense has a 5,000 debit dun sa ating unadjusted trial balance, which is your columns 1 and 2. These are your columns 3 and 4. 5 and 6 naman ito. So, kung 5,000 yan na debit at may adjustment na 1,000 na debit, pag pinagbunggo mo sila, parehas silang debit eh. So, magpro-proceed siya sa next 2 columns as 6,000.
When teachers like me teach in front of a live audience, we derive satisfaction to some extent from the interaction with students. Yung mga simpleng pagtawa mo sa mga jokes namin, they mean something to us. They make us happy. But teaching in front of the camera is a different thing. We don't even know if you're there. We don't even know if you're listening. So, a simple like dun sa ating video or a simple present, sir, nandito po kami, nakikinig. We are watching, sir, will inspire us. When teachers like me teach in front of a live audience, we know that you're there. But teaching in front of the camera is not merely sharing our content. It means sharing our time, our devotion, and above all, our passion. So, yung simpleng pag-subscribe mo sa amin, it lets us know that you are there and we are here to continue what we are doing. So, ngayon pa lang, nagpapasalamat na kami. Diyan sa yung subscription, it inspires us. It inspires me to wake up every morning, prepare discussion materials, and continue what I am doing. So, thank you so much. Please continue sharing and liking and subscribing. Thank you.
Pag naman credit yung isa at saka debit yung isa, tignan mo alin yung mas malaki. Kung sino yung mas malaki, siya yung mananaig. Pag pinagbunggo mo yung dalawang yan, di mas mananalo yung credit balance, it will proceed dun sa credit ng adjusted trial balance at the net amount. Okay? Pag naman parehas na credit, or just the same nung kanina, parehas na debit, then it would be simply added. 23,000, it becomes 23,000. Okay? Debit credit, mas malaki this time yung debit kesa dun sa adjustment na credit, then mananalo yung debit, 8,000. Alright? You have your step number 5, extend the amounts to the adjusted trial balance. Ginawa na natin yan kanina sa previous steps. Total the financial statements column, income statement or the statement of profit or loss columns, balance sheet or the statement of financial position columns. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Mahalaga yan, class, because as we have mentioned in the book, in recent CPA board exam questions, sa mga theory, okay? Akala nyo, porke simple, hindi na ibibigay. In the board exam, madaming simple lang na tanong, okay? You can ask your teachers about that, totoo. Yung sa sobrang simple, akala mo, ano kaya ito? Parang may trick yata yung tanong, pero hindi, talagang simple lang. Okay? Tinatanong, what are columns 7 and 8 in a 10-column worksheet? Yan, tinatanong yan. What are columns 9 and 10 in a 10-column worksheet? Yan, tinatanong yan sa CPA board exam. Worksheet Preparation Illustrated. At this point, we are now ready to prepare the worksheet of Ocampo and Associates CPAs, the trial balance prepared in Chapter 5, okay, if you still remember, and the adjustments prepared in Chapter 6 for the enterprise will be used in the preparation of a worksheet. For ease of reference and convenience, we present here again the trial balance from Chapter 5 and the adjusting journal entries from Chapter 6. So we'll go to a separate sheet to present this in a more organized way. So here we are now. I've just collected the information from Chapter 5, 6, and 7 for a more organized presentation. In Chapter 5, if you remember, we have here the following transactions that we have journalized and posted and also made trial balance from. Transactions 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 21, 26, 29, 30, and 30 were journalized as follows. So if you recall, ganito natin siya journalize dun sa Chapter 5. Alright? Debit, cash on hand. So, kailangan tumingin ka dun sa iyong chart of accounts. Tama? Okay, from June 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, these were our journal entries. Okay, debit, credit, with a simple description, including the reference column, okay, the money columns, debit and credit. Transactions, June 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 21, 26. Okay? 29, 30, 30. All of this from your chapter 5. Ginawan din natin siya ng T accounts but in a more formal way in your chapter 5. If you remember, so we're just recalling what we have done already in chapter 5. Your cash on hand has the following balance, 43,555. So sabi natin, this is just a more formal way of posting to the accounts. Ang mas mabilis at mas madali would be making your T account. Parehas din lang yung lalabas. Alright? You have your cash in bank, okay? Accounts receivable, Alpha Company, accounts receivable, Beta Trading, AR Cat Gas, 15,000, office supplies, equipment, all of these balances. You can check your notes again. Parehas na parehas dun sa chapter 5. It is one and the same. Automobile, 250,000. Accounts payable, 52,500. Notes payable, okay, closed account siya, 7,000 debit, 7,000 also credit, to close account. SSS payable, PhilHealth payable, withholding tax payable, notes payable, Dagupan Auto Center with the following balances. Professional income, rent expense, insurance expense, salaries expense, repairs and maintenance expense, depreciation expense, walang entry. Sa adjustment yan kasi nag-a-arise. Gas and oil expense, utilities, telephone and internet, interest expense, taxes and licenses. Ocampo capital, you have your initial investment of 100,000. Ocampo drawing also 20,000. In chapter 5, we also made a trial balance. So if you remember, ito eksakto yung trial balance na ginawa natin sa chapter 5. We did it this way. Let us show you the trial balance, Ocampo and Associate CPAs. Cash on hand. Tignan mo yung mga binilugan nating balanse. So sabi dun sa ating steps, una ililista daw muna natin lahat ng mga accounts with open balances. Ito yung mga accounts with open balances. Inisa-isa natin kanina, chinaga natin hanggang taxes and licenses expense. 554,055, 554,055. Okay? In chapter 6 naman, we were presented with the adjustment data and we made the adjustments as follows. On June 30, end of the month ng June, these were our adjustments. So you have adjustment number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10 adjustment data. We also made 10 adjustments. Pwede mong tignan yan. We had a very comprehensive discussion in adjusting entries. We had 5 videos regarding adjusting entries lang. Napakahalaga kasi ng adjustments. Pag nagkamali ka doon, hindi lalabas na tama yung magiging result mo pagdating dun sa pinakadulo ng worksheet. That's why you have to be very, very careful pagdating sa adjustments. And then finally, we would be making the worksheet. So ito yung magiging final result ng ating worksheet. And kung paano natin gagawin yan, ipapakita natin step by step. Alright? Although nasa libro nyo na, ipapakita natin kung paano siya i-construct. All of these figures are just jungle of numbers if you don't see through the logic kung bakit naging ganyan yung mga figures na yan. Okay? Alright. So let's go to a separate sheet and I would show you the overview of what we'd be doing this morning. So to give you an overview of what we'd be doing this morning, let's take a look at the following. In chapter 5, let's pick transaction June 6. Mr. Ocampo acquired office supplies, okay, office supplies from Limpan Commercial worth 7,000, issuing a promissory note in 15 days. Due in 15 days. So yung journal entry natin doon, debit office supplies 7,000, credit notes payable dash Limpan 7,000. This is the same journal entry that we have made in chapter 5. You can check your notes. We also have posted that in a T account, debit 7,000 office supplies. In the same chapter 5 pa rin, ginawan natin ng trial balance na kung saan kasali, okay, yung ating office supplies. Nandito siya, 7,000. Totaling, ilan ba yung total natin dito? our trial balance totaling 554,055. Okay? That was in chapter 5. Pagdating natin ng chapter 6, it was later found out that the office supplies which was initially recorded to be 7,000 ay 4,000 na lang pala. Therefore, the expense portion must be recognized. So anong sabi mo sa chapter 6? Debit office supplies 3,000 to recognize the use portion. Credit office supplies 3,000 also. Here now, in chapter 7, we would be making a worksheet na kung saan kasali yung office supplies mo na 7,000. If you see this, item number 6, office supplies, 7,000. Doon sa iyong adjustment, naka-credit siya ng 3,000. Kaya makikita mo rito, naka-credit din siya ng 3,000. So pag pinagbunggo mo yung 7 at saka yung 3,000 dito, then the balance would be 4,000 debit. Eh? So on, so forth hanggang dito sa balance sheet. That is the overview of what we'll be doing today. So now we are ready to construct our worksheet. Ang sabi natin, the first step would be the name of the business, or if the business has no name, it should be the name of the owner. In short, this one would be your heading. Okay? Ito yung heading natin. Ocampo and Associates CPAs worksheet for the month ended June 30, 2020. Ayan yung ating magiging heading. The next would be labeling the headers of our worksheet. So, alam natin, this one would be our accounts column. What are columns 1 and 2? This one would be your unadjusted trial balance. Columns 3 and 4. This one would be your adjustments. Columns 5 and 6. This one would be your adjusted trial balance. And then your columns 7 and 8 would be your statement of profit or loss column. And then 9 and 10 would be your statement of financial position columns, or the balance sheet for brevity. So once again, class, nag-journalize ka, nag-post ka, at gumawa ka ng trial balance. The next step in the worksheet preparation would be copying kung ano yung nakalagay exactly doon sa yung trial balance. Doon sa worksheet mo, class, wala kang ganitong column, okay? Dito sa left portion. Dito lang sa illustration natin, naglagay ako ng separate column for ease of reference para mas madali nating matumbok kung ano bang row yung tinutukoy natin. So, naglagay ako ng numbering dito sa left side, okay? Ayan. Pero sa worksheet mo, huwag kang maglalagay ng ganitong column. Baka magalit yung teacher mo, okay? Ayan. Naglagay lang tayo ng numbering. So, kokopyahin mo lang, as we have said. Tignan mo nga uli kung ano yung itsura ng iyong trial balance. This is your trial balance from your chapter 5. Okay? Exactly as is, kokopyahin mo ito doon sa iyong first two columns ng worksheet. So, 554055, 554055. Ganyan din yung magiging figures mo dito sa ibaba. Let us copy. Ayan, so nakopya na natin siya. Mula cash on hand hanggang dito sa pinakababa, taxes and licenses expense, the totals would be the same, exactly the same. So isunod natin yung figures. Ganyan na ganyan yung figures mo dun sa yung trial balance. So, 554,055 for both your debit and credit columns. Alright? Next would be the adjustments. Ano ba yung adjustments natin? Tingin ka dun sa pinakaunang adjustment mo.
Okay, class. So, that's the bell already. That's it for this meeting. So, ganun-ganun lang, class. A few minutes of your time every day, imbis na kung ano-ano yung pinapanood mo, just make it a habit to watch our videos bilang tulong na rin dun sa sarili mong pag-aaral. Why? Kasi tatandaan mo, hindi lahat ng nababasa mo ng mag-isa ay maririnig mo. At hindi din lahat ng mga naririnig mo ay mababasa mo. Tulungan yan. So with that, see you in our next meeting. See you in the next lesson.